Hello and welcome. In this video, we will answer the question, has globalization failed? From epic cases of companies that failed spectacularly to the United Nations seeming to have too much on its plate, there are many examples of organizations facing significant challenges internationally. Globalization, as we know it, refers to the increasing interconnectedness and interdependence of people, cultures, economies, and nations. It's a complex process ongoing for centuries, but it's only in the last few decades that it has really accelerated, driven largely by advances in technology and transportation. It is surprising to see successful international companies failing in certain markets, with some brands ending up looking cheap because of rapid global expansion. There are many examples of unexpected failures, but let's look at some of the most bizarre. Starbucks tried to break into the Australian market in 2000, but it didn't go well. They thought Aussies drank coffee like Americans, but they were wrong. The local coffee movement dominated the market, and Starbucks was simply too expensive. It took until 2008 for Starbucks to close 61 stores and to lose $143 million. In 2014, they gave up and handed over the remaining 24 shops to the Withers Group, which operates 7-Eleven in Australia. Starbucks learned the hard way that Aussies prefer their coffee like they prefer their wildlife, local and dangerous. Domino's Pizza had high hopes when it opened its first Italian location in 2015, but things didn't go as planned. The pizza chain tried to introduce American-style pizza to Italians, but they weren't having it. After struggling to compete with local pizzerias, Domino's has closed all 29 locations. Looks like Domino's learned that when in Rome, eat as the Romans do. Home Depot's attempt to crack the Chinese market in 2006 was a DIY disaster. Despite the country's growing economy and housing market, Home Depot launched 12 stores before realizing that the Chinese didn't share their passion for home renovation. In fact, in developing countries, DIY is often seen as a sign of poverty. Home Depot closed its Chinese stores in 2012, taking a $160 million after-tax hit. Looks like when it comes to DIY in China, Home Depot couldn't hammer out a successful business model. It appears that some businesses struggle to adapt their business model to local markets, resulting in losses and failure. To be fair, international companies have the ability to learn from their failures and adjust their strategies for new markets. Take Starbucks, for example. After struggling in Australia, they were able to move forward, entering Italy's market triumphantly. Looks like they brewed up a winning formula after all. But what about a broader perspective on globalization? Undoubtedly, globalization has brought about many benefits. It has created new economic opportunities and helped lift millions of people out of poverty. It also spreads knowledge, culture, and ideas across borders. But it has also brought about some serious drawbacks. One of the most prominent is rising inequality. While some people have benefited greatly from globalization, others have been left behind, as the benefits of economic growth have disproportionately gone to the wealthy. This has led to a growing divide between the haves and the have-nots, both within and between countries. So, if you have resources available, it's important to consider investing to stay financially stable. If you are considering investing, you can do it using our platform. To do so, scan the QR code shown on screen or check the link in the description. However, please be aware that we're not giving direct investment advice or soliciting the purchase or sale of any company's shares. Another challenge with globalization is the rise of populism and nationalism in many countries around the world. Populist politicians often blame globalization for the loss of jobs and industries in their countries, and they promise to protect the citizens from the perceived threats of globalization. Nationalist movements similarly prioritize national interests over global cooperation, leading to tensions and conflicts in international relations. The environmental impacts of globalization are also of great importance. As economic activity has increased, so too has the use of natural resources, the generation of waste, and the emission of greenhouse gases. This has contributed to a range of environmental problems, including climate change, deforestation, and the loss of biodiversity. Globalization is bringing people together to tackle negative impacts by leveraging its positive features. It's like we're using a bulldozer to clear the debris caused by another bulldozer. A bit ironic, but it is effective. Yet it's not a balanced system, as the rise of globalization has led to a decline in some industries, particularly in developed countries where manufacturing jobs have been outsourced to developing countries with lower labor costs. This contributes to unemployment, especially among low-skilled workers most affected by the loss of these jobs. Globalization has brought both benefits and challenges, making it a complex topic. It depends on your perspective. If you're all about the money, then it's been a roaring success. But if you care about things like inequality, the environment, and cultural diversity, then it's a different story.
Has globalization failed? I believe so, because globalization, like any other ideology, can never be achieved. Best is to think about localization, local supply demand, local communities. They will then become self-sustaining, self-maintaining, and they won't harm society like globalization is doing, because globalization always is causing a number of externalities, the costs that are not paid by the globalists but by the society and community.
However, we can't just throw our hands up and say globalization has failed. We have the power to shape it in a way that benefits society as a whole. In short, we're all in this together on our little blue spaceship. So let's work together to keep it afloat and avoid any iceberg collisions. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also, click on the notification bell to get notifications whenever we upload new content. See you next time.